It's another mild morning and an even warmer afternoon, but then the big chill.
The pitch. Ryan Braun sends it to left center and deep. Get up! Get out of here! Gone!
Right now at 4:30, the voice of the Brewers and the man known as Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker, has passed away after a 2-year battle with cancer.
Tried to put on my best radio voice. He told me to say hello to everybody, and I got up to the mic and I'm like, hello everybody. Nice and enthusiastic.
The everlasting legacy he left behind in the Cream City and how fans are celebrating his life. Fox 6 Wake Up starts right now.
With stories that matter to you, this is Fox 6 Wake Up News.
All right, here we are at 4:30 on a Friday morning. It's a very mild start to our day today. Calm conditions as we look downtown. We're currently at 26 in Milwaukee, 28 as we wake up Waukesha, all the way up to 29 this hour in Port Washington. Now that's a good 2, 3, 4, 5 degrees warmer in many cases than what we had yesterday, which was a nice mild morning. It is cloudy right now, but we should get at least some partly sunny skies as we roll through our day today. And as we get into the afternoon, we'll start warming into the 40s. I would say we top out in the mid-40s today, 44, 46 degrees for the high, but it should be 20s for the ride-in.
Sooner or later, everybody's got to go. You know, I don't know when my dirt bath's going to come, but I mean, sooner or later, you know, you got lawnmowers on top of you. You know, I don't care what it is. You know, it just happened. That's the way it is, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I'm going to try and hang around until, you know, I can't do it anymore.
The city, the sports world, the country, all mourning the loss of legendary broadcaster Bob Uecker. The voice of baseball passed away yesterday at the age of 90 after a 2-year battle with cancer.
For 54 years, he brought people together with such a pure form of storytelling. Sam Kramer takes a closer look at how the community is saying their goodbyes.
I was a beer vendor here for a few years.
Leave it to Milwaukee to find the most appropriate way to say goodbye.
I saw him a couple times and I just said, hey, you know, thanks for everything. And you'd say something to you, say thanks or whatever, and walk on. It was great.
At the base of Bob Uecker's statue Thursday, Brewers fans and former employees like Bob Lashinsky reminisce.
I remember his joke about statues.
Over Miller Lights.
We always talked about how they put one up of him in St. Louis, but they had him batting the wrong way because it was Stan Musial. That's great. I love that one.
All day, people have dropped flowers, candles, and more Miller at this temporary memorial.
At some point, there'll be another steward for the organization, so we're replaceable. But Bob Uecker is not replaceable.
In a Thursday press conference, Brewers owner Mark Antanasio peeled back the curtain some on Uecker's last years with the team. Since 2023, he privately battled single-cell lung cancer.
There were days he would go have radiation treatment, then come to the ballpark and broadcast a game. It's unbelievable.
Back at the ballpark,
I know it's crazy, but I never thought I'd see this day where he wouldn't be here.
Brewers fans make peace with the loss that might just hurt more than any game Uecker called.
Mr. Baseball.
All right, Mr. Baseball.
Good night, old friend.
Good night, old friend.
And that was our Sam Kramer reporting. The team will honor Uecker at the ballpark this summer. The Brewers are also working on a public celebration of life as well. We'll share those details when we have them.
And you can't forget that legendary voice that Uecker had, but he also touched lives in sometimes unseen ways. Uecker often helped make wishes come true for kids battling serious health issues. For others, they are remembering that legendary voice and the happiness he brought them. Jason Calvi talked to a former Brewers bat boy who worked for the Brewers for 2 decades and now is the president of the Admirals hockey team. He shares what it was like to talk to Mr. Baseball last year.
You know, I had not been with the Brewers for 20 years at that point, and still treated me like I had been there every day. I was grateful, and I'll cherish that meeting forever.
You could listen to the game and take 3 hours off from life and just enjoy it. You would forget about your world's problems and just keep on going.
I think he just loved kids. He's really good with me. I'll never forget it.
He helped create some joy during the toughest times of these kids' lives. They're all kids with critical illnesses, and he brought light and hope and laughter to these kids and their families.
He would also welcome Make-A-Wish kids into his broadcasting booth and interviewed them live on the air. He also helped to fundraise for the charity and did his part in making sure even more wishes come true.
And there's, of course, plenty of reaction pouring in from local leaders this morning and beyond. Governor Tony Evers says, thanks for all the memories, Uecker. You sure will be missed, adding, quote, he was beloved not just in Wisconsin, but across the country. And Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson posting on X, rest well, Mr. Baseball. From the Brewers and beyond, the entire city is your crew.
J.J. Watt, the Pewaukee-born football star, bound for a Hall of Fame of his own one day, reacting to the news, calling Uecker an absolute legend. Rest in peace, Bob, and thanks for the memories. Packers legend Brett Favre also sharing his condolences, saying Uecker was more than just a voice in the booth. He was a true friend and a legend in the world of sports. He had a good sense of humor and was never short on stories. I'll never forget the laughs we shared and the times we spent together.
Mira, mira, desperate, desperate! Get up, get up! It's time to go.
We've had a little trouble with some of the players.
Sleepy, sleepy, get up, get up!
I'm awake.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't know
Seriously,
it.
I'm awake.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You're awake?
Yeah.
No kidding.
So this video is from 2016, where Bob Uecker was filming a little promo for his Uecker alarm clock giveaway. It said, get up, get out of bed, of course in the Uecker voice. Definitely a cool collectible now, if you have one.
And we're only beginning to scratch the surface of Bob Uecker's legacy. Check out more video and stories on Mr. Baseball when you visit Fox Local and the Fox Local mobile app. From our 2003 special ahead of Uecker being inducted into the Hall of Fame to touching remembrances, for Fox Local is your source for all things Bob Uecker.
Turning now to your other news of the day, the man who killed two brothers in a Milwaukee hit and run will be finding out how long he will spend behind bars today. Michael and Alberto Gonzalez Ponce were hit and killed by an SUV speeding down Lincoln Avenue near 19th Street back in May. The driver, Luis Perez Garcia, told investigators he had been drinking before the crash. He pled guilty to the charges last month, including hit and run causing death.
The teen charged in a deadly shooting will be in court today. This is in connection to a 2023 shooting near 15th and Concordia. 15-year-old Davion Patterson was killed, and 5 women between the ages of 18 and 22 were injured. Prosecutors say Romello Littlejohn threatened to pop anyone who touched one of the people involved in a fight before shots were fired. Well, the then 16-year-old is charged with reckless homicide and several counts of reckless injury. Investigators found a text message on the teen's phone admitting that he shot the victim. Well, charges have now been filed after a 40-year-old Milwaukee woman was shot and killed inside of her North Side home.
Police are describing the incident as a revenge killing. The shooting happened at a home near 42nd and Florist last June. Police say several people were inside of the house when someone outside started firing. 27 shell casings were found near the scene. The suspect, James Edwards, was arrested last week. According to a criminal complaint, he was seeking revenge after his cousin was murdered.
An urgent warning from health officials to get your kids vaccinated as the state confirms the first pediatric-related flu death of the season. There have been 16 reports across the country. At the moment, we don't know if the child was vaccinated or not, but we do know that the case is in the north central region of the state. The DHS says vaccinations are down across the state. Dr. Kevin Dahlman, the medical director at Aurora Children's Health Center, says the flu is rolling through the region along with other respiratory illnesses.
The greater metro Milwaukee area, we're seeing this uptick in influenza A illness. One thing that we say as pediatricians is get your children vaccinated. Anyone that's 6 months and older can get the flu shot. And in fact, it's not too late.
Dr. Dahlman says the flu shot is not perfect, but it will provide protection. He says to talk with your child's doctor before making a decision. He also says to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds or more if you can.
New details now as Beaver Dam High School officials say a burn list was circulating social media, and now an investigation is underway. The superintendent says law enforcement and the school resource officer found a short video of students using the burn list as part of a TikTok resolution trend, making a list of things to let them go. It was determined that there was no credible physical threat, though, that was associated with the list, but parents are understandably unsettled due to the word kill crossed out.
Shocked, horrified, sad for the kids that are on this list. Most of us are outraged, and we want the administration to do something about it.
The superintendent tells Fox 6 that all students involved have not been at school since and may not return at all, depending on the outcome of this investigation. Enrollment projections is showing a decline in the Waukesha School District.
But leaders say there's reason to be optimistic. The district's chief financial officer, Darren Clark, says enrollment could drop by about 200 students per year over the next 5 years. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, public, elementary, and secondary enrollment dropped 6% in Wisconsin over a decade-long period. But Clark says the district is in good financial shape.
We'll be debt-free in a year. We're the 7th largest school district in the state, and to have no tax or approved debt on the books is really a unique thing.
The district will approve the 2025-26 budget this fall. After a wild card exit in Philadelphia, the Packers will have a lot of questions to answer in the offseason.
And that includes, how do they get over the hump against the best teams in the NFL? Tim Van Voren checks in with general manager Brian Gutekunst in Green Bay.
The 2024 Green Bay Packers were unable to keep up with Detroit and Philadelphia and Minnesota. And early in 2025, general manager Brian Gutekunst understands the deal.
Yeah, last year I think I was getting the same question about the 49ers, and so it changes from year to year. Next year's team is going to look different, and they're going to have to grow together. In 2023, I thought we were playing overall as a football team our very best football at the end of the season, which is very important to me. I think that's kind of how, if we're going to go chase championships, you got to be doing that. And I think this year, in some areas we were, but in some areas we weren't.
Getting hot at the end of next season is a long time away. Packers already focused on that. Outside Lambeau Field, Tim Van Voren, Fox 6 Sports.
There is still a possibility that TikTok won't be getting the boot this weekend.
Why the fate of the social media platform is now in the hands of the president-elect.
And many Southern California residents are still not allowed to go home. The new dangers that firefighters are now facing.
Swinging a drive, right center and deep. Get up, get out of here, gone for Fielder.
And hearing the voice of Mr. Baseball this morning, as so many are mourning him, taking a live look right now at the memorial at American Family Field.